Percocet Productions here today, and we are going to be going over what went wrong with Red Dead Online.
So this is basically just gonna be covering like why we think Red Dead Redemption 2's online kind of failed compared to GTA. You figure GTA is still going 7, 8 years, whatever the hell it's been now, and it's still going strong. Whereas Red Dead lasted maybe a year, if that, and it just flopped.
Yeah, I'm Jason.
And I'm Ethan.
Okay, so the first thing that I will say is that let's start off with there were so many bugs in this online
Oh, oh
right
God,
off the
yeah.
rip, like immediately. And the same thing happened with GTA Online. And I think that's a reoccurring problem with Rockstar's recent installments. Um, they release online way too quickly before they
Mm-hmm.
are ready, way before they're ready, and it hurts them. It hurts them in the end because you get all these bugs, you get all these glitches, even server issues where you can't even play it on the first day. Loading in is atrocious, right? It takes forever to load in. Um, and bugs was just a huge thing that made me not want to play it.
Well, what's funny about that is they didn't even release it right with the game. I think it took them a
Mm-mm.
couple months to release it, or like some time to air quotes get it right, and it just flopped. I mean, there was nothing smooth about online at first. It was just problem after problem. I remember we would try to load in with each other, and it just didn't. It was such a pain in the ass.
It took
It just wasn't worth it.
it took way too long to load in from mission to mission. The
Oh God,
few
yeah.
missions that there were, it would take minutes upon minutes just to load in, just to die in 2 seconds, and then you have to load in, load back up again. Like the Red Dead 2 story gameplay, playing the story and playing campaign, it was very streamlined. You could just play and enjoy. Red Dead
Oh yeah.
Online was not that.
No, Red Dead Online was kind of a clusterfuck right from the start. I mean, there was I don't think there were many positives about it at all.
Yeah, like comparing it to the campaign, there was nothing that made online better. Like nothing like overall 100% the campaign was better in every aspect.
Hmm.
Even going around with your friends, like GTA Online, it works, right? It works because it's so fast paced. But Red Dead 2 Online, the map is so big and you ride on horse. So just getting anywhere is so hard, first of all.
Yeah,
And
and then half the missions are like across the map. Like it was
yeah,
more just riding around than doing anything. Funny
it's
enough, you mentioned um, the single player streamline process.
mhm.
I was literally thinking like it just wasn't as interesting compared to single player. It was almost boring.
It was empty.
Like single player kept you hooked in, and it really made sure that you were like gripped up and you were sitting on the edge of your seat the whole story. Whereas with online, they were just like they just threw you into it, and then what, I have to make my guy from scratch, and like I don't have anything. I don't have any money. You barely get money as it is. It's
Yeah.
basically just a racket to buy money like they did in GTA Online. The difference is in GTA Online, I feel like I can get a lot of cooler shit if I were to buy money.
Yeah.
Or I feel like if I want to earn more money, I can actually get like a car. I can get like a cool car to show off. Whereas what am I going to do? Buy a horse that's a different color that nobody knows what the hell it is?
Yeah.
It
It
wasn't worth it.
it was very empty and boring. Like that's
Hmm.
two words to put it. Like and it was supposed to be something like because it also had the follow Red Dead Redemption 1's online, which was a ton of fun.
Oh, it
Plenty
was.
of people enjoyed that very much so. And for whatever reason, Red Dead Online for the second game just failed in comparison.
Well, funny enough with that, I mean, again, like one of the other talking points I had was Red Dead Online, like in the first one, people were actually like friendly, like they were like you would posse up with people and you'd be able to do all these missions and shit together. You'd
Mm.
become friends and you guys would talk and have a good time. You'd have standoffs in saloons and shit like that. And then like now I load into Red Dead Online and I just get popped immediately. Like nobody's friendly. you have to always watch over your shoulder, and I feel like that also took some fun out of it.
Yeah, that's a good point. It felt like Red Dead Online was basically GTA Online dropped into a Western. That's completely how it felt, and in the worst way because it just doesn't work. And so you had all the toxic players from GTA Online, that mentality, that culture, went straight into Red Dead 2 Online. It was very toxic, and it was fun to mess around sometimes, but when you just are trying to do something as simple as go into a gun shop and then you come out and get shot, it's very frustrating and demotivating. It's like, what am I playing for? What am I actually doing here?
Right. And like the whole point is like, yeah, you can go into the mode that keeps you safe or whatever, but what is the point? Like,
Yeah,
I don't want to play as a ghost the whole time. I don't want to have to like worry about that. If I'm playing, I just kind of want to play.
exactly.
I don't know.
Everything.
I just don't understand like what happened to the community. Like people used to actually be decent with the
Hmm.
game, with the original. There really were like good players, and then now it's just everybody just shoots each other.
Yeah, that's completely true. And adding to your point of how empty it felt and boring, there was a lack of content that basically added towards that or aided towards that as well. Very few guns, very few clothes that you could even put on, like very limiting stuff. Like it didn't even scratch the surface of the things you can do in single player. And um a lot of that content was also hidden behind, like, I'm not gonna say paywalls, but basically paywalls.
I mean,
You
yeah, like you didn't earn hardly any money from these missions that you did. So they
No.
expected you to buy shit or to like sign up for all this shit, and it was stupid. Like
Yeah.
honestly, if I were to spend my money on a Rockstar game for online, it would not be Red Dead Online. I'd go to GTA Online
Mm-hmm.
because there's so much more shit to buy. There's so much more shit to do. Like once you buy the guns in Red Dead, there's only like fucking 10 of them. You
Yeah.
know, and once you buy the one you want, you're set.
It's
And the price of everything was like tripled from
yeah.
campaign or campaign from the story because it's like, yeah, what are you gonna do? Have somebody buy a gun for $100 and then blow everybody away because it's like the best gun in the game? But like the amount of money you earn wasn't like relatively compared.
No. I don't even think that the online had a purpose. Like I feel like they didn't even know what they were doing with it. Like
Hmm.
campaign had a it had a direction throughout its entirety, and online had no direction. Sure, there was like a story, but I mean your character couldn't even really talk, your character could not interact with the world, your character could
Hmm.
not be immersed in the world. You just felt like a puppet, you just felt like a game character, and that's not how Red Dead feels. Like you actually feel like a character when you're playing the campaign. You actually feel alive, like you're in a living world. But online, the world feels dead. It feels like tumbleweed. It feels like nothing. Um,
Right. I mean, it does feel empty, and like there really isn't that much to do compared to the story. I mean,
no.
like it really was dead when the game first launched, or like when the multiplayer first launched, because we played it like the first couple of days, and there was really nothing to do.
Yeah.
Like you just loaded in, and we would ride around, try to find a mission. We do a mission, and then oh, now you got to do this, and it was just very boring and lackluster.
Yeah. That's completely true. And this is coming from two people who absolutely love the campaign and the story. And I mean, I know for myself that I was super excited for online, super
Hmm.
duper excited. I thought that it was going to be the next chapter of Red Dead, but
That's
it's
what I was hoping too. I mean, I was really excited for it because it's like you get to play the story with friends, and you get to like dive into the world of Red Dead, but it was basically just a money grab.
yeah. And I will say that I don't know if it has improved much recently over the past year. It has been out for probably 4 years at this point. And I think if a game doesn't hook you with its content after a month or so, then you
Mhm.
leave it, and then it's like you don't come back because why would you come back to a game that disappointed you in the beginning? First impressions are very crucial, and this game just disappointed with its online, of course. Um, and yeah,
Hmm. Well, funny enough, I mean, there's an article I literally just looked up now because I thought I read it before. Um, they basically aren't even focusing on Red Dead Online anymore. They've shifted all of it to Grand Theft Auto.
really,
Yeah.
I
So,
didn't even know that.
I mean, this was just released a couple of months ago, but like honestly, it didn't last long, and I don't think they really followed up with it for a while.
That's depressing.
It is.
What? They just, I mean, I get it because, GTA Online makes them a ton of money and Red Dead Online probably didn't, so they just had to shift their
Hmm.
resources somewhere else, and that's that's awful. Yeah, that's why Red Dead Online sucks, basically.
Yep, and that's really it. I mean, they really kind of just screwed it. I mean, it could have been something good, and they ruined it.
Well, that is it for us, guys. Let us know what you think. Maybe you had a better experience. Let us know down below, and we will see you in the next one.
I mean, maybe you guys had plenty of fun playing it. Maybe not. I mean, let us know if you enjoyed it or not. And yeah,